cousins and I are driving down Main Street, Manayunk. Headed for a bar, probably know. Nice ladies' night out, a few drinks, feeling good, and all of a sudden we stop at a light, and right across the windshield is flashing this big pink neon sign saying psychic. I look at the driver, my cousin Candace, and she looks at me like, good, okay. I look over at Elizabeth, who's like a goddess out of the Coppertone hat. First woman on the Margate beaches to wear a white bikini. Still looked good. Still a lot of time in her. She's like, woo! So we pull in, park the car, and we're out. And we're into this psychic paradise. Okay, 3 of us, out she comes. She's got like a do-rag on her head, and there's plastic beads and white shag carpet. Who's going first? My cousin Candace raises her hand, palm. In she goes. And as we're sitting there watching the clock, tick, 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 out she comes, and she looks at me. And now when I think about it, she's looking at me, but I'm thinking that maybe that woman told her that her husband, the financial expert, was going to ruin me financially, and if she did, she was right. Elizabeth was number 2. So she went in, and I don't know to this day whether or not she chose cards or palm, because that was her choice. But I know when she came out, she looked jaundiced. And I don't know how much that woman told her. Did she tell her about the lupus diagnosis that happened a couple years after that? Did she tell her about her breast implants that were going to leak? Did she tell her about the fact that she was going to have her beauty photograph on top of her closed casket just a couple years after we went to the psychic? I don't know, because she wouldn't talk about it. Anyway, it was my turn next. And being the woman who wants to get most bang for her buck, I chose the tarot cards. So, 1, 2, 3 cards down. First card up. You know who this is, don't you? Oh, shit, looks like my mother. It's a queen of spades, but it's got black hair, and I know I have light hair, but this is really weird. Aren't they supposed to tell you that you're going to get a lot of money, or that you're going to meet some fabulous guy? And here she is talking about my mother. I mean, how does she even know that my mother ran off with this guy that made a pass at me and lives in Ireland now? So I said, yeah, I know who that is. She had time. She didn't know my name. There was no way for her to know that we were going to pass in there that day. All right, it's just a fluke, right? Don't be superstitious. Card number 2 coming. Your father will never marry again. Okay, now this one's taking my breath away, because guess what? After my parents got divorced, my father, who was in the seminary before my parents got married, went on a blind date and fell in love, became a Catholic priest after the annulment. So I'm breathless now, and I'm waiting for the 3rd card, and I'm in deep shit. 3rd card comes. I see 2 men. One is very bad for you. One is very good for you. All right. Now you tell me how I could be married to this SOB Hellraiser that I was trying to get rid of and forget by having an affair with this fabulous boss's son at the time. Please don't hold my appearance against me. This was many years ago. Anyway, you are so, oh no, it can't be true. Well, guess what? She got it right with me, except there were 3 men. I ditched those 2 and I got a 3rd, but I'm always superstitious when it comes to cards now. I'll always pass that psychic flashing light by, so there you go.